Thank you.
Isaac, you were going to say something.
You see, because your question was quite valid, and you were like, the politics of money and people recouping back their money. I will tell you this. I think the president himself, I'm sure he's not happy with what is happening even at the National Assembly and around the country. Whether we like it or not, today we all know that the president means well as an individual. He might have some bad people around him that are messing things up for him, but we know who he is, and that is why we brought him into power. And I'll tell you this. I believe that the reason why he signed this bill into law is because of what you just said. He knows that for APC to remain and to stand, definitely this law has to be so that fresh ideas can come on board. If they do come on board, it will help and change the way things will happen in 2019. I went back home in December when I went home for Christmas. They were like, Balami, you need to run, because the Isaac Balami Foundation, I have trained at least 2,000 youth in the last 10 years. We have over 500 orphans in school. And based on our works, they were like, you guys, you need to come on board and do this thing. We are tired of those politicians. And I'll tell you this. The president knows that 2019 is not about party. It is about content, integrity, and what have you done? Show us your works. And that is why I tell you that he is confident that this law that he has signed will bring in fresh ideas into our great party APC. And with these fresh ideas, fresh people actually coming up, I can assure you that people are now going to go for individuals. So any party that thinks you want to do this, you just want to do your primaries anyhow, put something that you want, even if the person has nothing to offer, that party will lose. So the party now will be forced to do the needful. The parties now will be forced to ensure that anybody who is going to win any primaries, be it presidency, governor, senate, or whatever, they must be qualified. Otherwise, they will not, and you will see new parties even coming.
That's why they didn't want you all in the first place, because you are all upstarts. You will always scream about one thing or the other that is wrong.
Well, you see, no,
okay,
there's always, yeah.
let me take this to Njoku. Let me take this to Njoku. Whether we like it or not, we know that there are some youths, some of those youths who know that entitlement syndrome. If my father isn't giving me, the government has not given me, those ones are there. We also know that there are some of them who think, okay, Nigeria is just that big cake. Everybody's been eating it. Once I get there, I need to go and get my share. And that is the mindset. How do we change this kind of, psyche of people like that? Just so they know that when you're coming for service.
So first of all, you know what is faulty about the premise, what you just said now, referring to youth as people that think that way. And you said something earlier when they say, a lot of young people are irresponsible or act irresponsibly. I mean, that is a human thing, it's not a youth thing. Because equally, age and getting old doesn't guarantee being responsible. Because we have a lot of young people, a lot of old people who also are very responsible. And we have a lot of old people who also think that coming to leadership is about national cake for them to share. But then the issue here, like we keep emphasizing, is on the issue of character and content. So it's not everybody that decides to come out to run for election and the people decide to support him. I mean, it should be about people that have character and content. So there will always be, that's a fact, there will always be those people who think the way you are saying. There will always be those people, those young people who are irresponsible. That makes the society a functional society. As a matter of fact, everybody cannot be like you or like me. I mean, that's how a functional society is supposed to be. But then we're talking about young people who have character. And then, just so that I put this point out there, so there's a lot of distraction going on around this bill that the president has signed into law. And I find the distraction a bit entertaining. But young people should focus on the real issues. I mean, it's entertaining for me seeing the big parties, the APC and the PDP, I mean, trying to own the bill and say, hey, we did this, trying to own the bill or trying to use it to campaign. Young people should focus on the real issues, because it's not just cool for them to use it to campaign for elections, but it is for us, young people, to focus on the real issues, which is participation in the electoral processes. How many young people watching us this morning have their PVCs? How many so you see young people telling you that, hey, if they have to go and register, they spend 2 hours for them to register before they can. I mean, but you spend more hours doing other things, watching movies. Why don't you make effort to register to have your PVC? So all of these things will not amount to much impact and much effect and much support to the young people that will come out to run if the young people do not go out there and register to have their PVC, to have their PVC power. And then beyond that, INEC as an organization, which is equally one of the demands we give to Mr. President. Mr. President has to ensure that INEC gives us credible, free, and fair election in 2019. So our young people who will leave their job, who will leave what they are doing to contest, will not just be an effort in futility, but at the end of the day, to transit to results that they win elections if we have credible elections. So yes, to your question, it's not just about young people. Same happens with old people, but we're expecting young people that have character and content to come out and contest in 2019 and beyond. And then again, this bill. So most times we'll talk about this bill as if these laws are made just for now. Laws are not just meant for today. Laws are meant for the future. So this is law already in Nigeria. And even if we don't exactly, young people now, don't exactly get it right, or we don't see a reasonable amount of people, young people get into politics by 2019, because the timing, as a matter of fact, is short, which is the urgency we were talking to Mr. President to ensure that he signs. You know, we gave Mr. President an 8 days ultimatum on 21st before he signed this thing he signed this bill now. The urgency is that young people need to start participating, need to start the processes of election. So if by 2019 we don't see a lot of young people that's there to get into power.
Okay, Njoku, we'll just take a very quick break, and Sunrise will be back in a moment.